Good morning. It's day 11 in Bolster's 30-day morning musings series. We're talking about math facts again today, but not the drilling yet. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Today I wanted to talk about whether or not your child is ready for drills. So drilling is sort of like the last step in the learning process. If you think of it maybe in 3 steps, first step would be introducing an idea like multiplication. Teachers do that through arrays and picture problems and through stories and talking about it at school. And then they move into practicing where the children can get their own set of picture problems and can work through, and teachers will figure out whether or not they're able to understand the fact that multiplication is repeated addition, or all about equal groups. And then once they've been introduced to the topic and they've practiced it, and they can understand and articulate what multiplication is, then it's a good time to get into drilling. If you start drilling too early, hey, we're all about meaningful learning here at Bolster and making it stick, right? And building confidence in our kids. And if the learning is not there beforehand and we jump to drilling, we miss out on that opportunity to really make it stick. So make sure that your child has learned a little bit about multiplication before you get to the drilling that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So how do you know that your child has had exposure to multiplication or is aware of what it is? Here's a few ways. First of all, the curriculum, wherever you are. Canada, typically in the United States, it's grades 2 and 3. Grade 2, they start the idea of multiplication. In grade 3, they really get into the practicing of it. In Australia, it's typically year 2 that they start the idea of multiplication. And in England, it's a little earlier. Their national curriculum, they begin in year 1 with multiplication and the concept of multiplication. So that's the first place to look. The second place might be to ask their teacher if they have readiness to begin drilling. That's just such a great and simple question. Is it appropriate that I begin to drill my child in multiplication facts so that they become stronger in that area? And a teacher will probably tell you quite quickly whether or not that's a suitable path at that time. And then the other part that you can do is just ask them throughout. I mean, I wouldn't say, do you know what multiplication is? Because I think even adults would possibly have a hard time answering that question if they haven't had that lesson lately. But it's more about finding examples in real life. So if your child has a couple of kids coming over for a play date and you're serving some snacks, maybe you've got the old 4 chocolates in a dish. Each dish is 1 set. So how many chocolates do I have? And as they're busy calculating that number in their mind, you may shine a light on the fact that that's multiplication. Multiplication is a shortcut to addition. And have conversations around that. If you're card players in your house and you play crazy eights, if there's 4 people around the table and every player gets 8 cards, how many cards are you going to give out? That's multiplication. So making it part of the culture of your home and talking about that idea is a great way to make the learning more meaningful and to ensure that your child is ready to begin the drilling process. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about how I worked on multiplication facts this summer with my son, some of the problems that we ran into and what really worked. And I look forward to sharing more about that. See you then. Stay bolstered.